well, captive media fans, we're back again. It's me, your beloved Logan. I got Zane here. We got the oh so beautiful, always has the best takes on everything. Spider-Man loving Lady Fran.
Hi.
I love the instant hostility to a compliment.
Oh my gosh. All right, guys. What we're basically doing on the show is we try to take the news stories that come out during the week. At least I do, because I'm so deep in on them, and I try to explain to my friends basically like what's happening in the world of news, like what's coming up, what's going to come out. And I just wanted to start it with this first story. You guys are seeing this Friday, and the new weekend's about to start for the box office. You know, the box office race, as they call it. But just this last week, we had one of the most iconic box office matchups in history. This one is actually coming to us from The Hollywood Reporter. Elvis has danced ahead of Top Gun Maverick to officially win the weekend box office race and top the domestic chart in its debut. In a rare box office near tie, Sunday, studios estimate that Baz Luhrmann's biopic, starring Austin Butler as Elvis Presley, if you haven't heard of it, and Top Gun Maverick each earned $30.5 million as of Saturday night, having only Top Gun beat it by $176 flat.
Really? So it ended up beating it by that?
Well, by Sunday, which we just got the numbers for this right before we went live, just today they found out on Sunday that Elvis barely beat it out. Barely. I mean, we're talking under thousands beat it, which is huge, because if you actually like analyze the two movies, you have Elvis coming out in its first weekend. Huge picture. Everybody's been talking about it for like award season stuff. And then you have Top Gun, a movie with IP 36 years old, in its fifth weekend, almost beating it again. Wow. And then on top of that, Top Gun just became the first movie in 2022 to join the billionaire club as making $1 billion worldwide. And it's the only movie to do that, not comic book related, since 2015, I believe.
Jeez.
In a post-COVID era. So what I'm basically telling you guys this for is a couple reasons. For one, I want to know your reactions to the Elvis movie, if you guys are interested in seeing that, as well as the Top Gun stuff. But I also just want to talk to you guys about, what do you think this means for the future of box office films? Do you think that maybe the superhero genre is coming to an end and more broad strokes films are coming out? Do you think people are just returning to the movies more? And do you think that Paramount is really stupid because a week from today, apparently, this movie is supposed to go on Paramount Plus, even though it's still making millions of dollars at the box office?
Wait, which movie? Which movie?
Top Gun.
Top Gun, really? Already?
Well, it's been out for 5 weeks.
I mean, I feel like it could go even longer.
I know.
It was so fucking good.
That was the conversation. People have always been like, I don't want to, I don't want to wait a really long time to get the movie from theaters to streaming. And most people go see it the first weekend. Well, not this movie. Not this movie at all. I went Father's Day.
Yeah, it was a big hit on Father's Day.
And it was huge. And it's going to stay open till 4th of July.
Yeah, as it should.
As it should.
Obviously.
But the question is Paramount throwing away money to put this on Paramount Plus? Should they have kept it in theaters longer? Are they killing the theatrical window earlier than they should? But first, Franny, just any thoughts in regards to this story? There's so much to tackle from it. I kind of wanted to know your thoughts just getting all of this information.
Yeah, I fucking loved the new Top Gun movie. It was so good.
Miles Teller, oh my God.
Miles Teller looked absolutely delicious.
He wears the fuck out of that mustache.
Oh my God.
He wears the fuck out of it.
The only bad thing, though, is men are going to start thinking they can pull that off.
No, they already are, and all of them look like Paul Blart.
Like, you don't look like Miles Teller, like, please.
Yeah.
Grab a razor.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Well,
also, I'm excited to see Austin Butler as Elvis, of course. So, like, two just
hearing that it just squeaked, it finally took down the behemoth that is Top Gun.
That makes me want to see it so much, because I love Top Gun, and I mean, if it beat it, I feel like that's really saying something for the movie.
Zane, what are all your thoughts on this?
So my thoughts are actually, I couldn't care less about either of these.
What? Wait, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Hear him out. Listen, it's not surprising like Top Gun.
I'm shocked, though.
Listen, before this year, Top Gun was a 30-plus-year-old film.
Yeah, but I feel like that's I feel like that's a movie you'd like.
Seen by
Top Gun is a classic.
And it's been embraced by the LGBTQ community.
Yeah.
What's
I
up?
want to hear him defend why he doesn't fucking like.
No, it's because the whole movie is gay as fuck, but that's fine.
You got to defend this shit to me. I don't understand why I don't like Top Gun.
Like you were talking about, like, can something that's not a comic book movie take over it's still not an original IP. It's still
it's an IP from 30 fucking years ago.
But it's something that everybody fucking loves. Top Gun.
No.
Can't sit
That's
here
where
and tell
you're
me
wrong. That is where you're wrong. I can break down to you as a film fan. The level of interest in Top Gun was wavering for many years. It helped at the time it came out. It was a pop cultural zeitgeist, but it was exactly that, involved in the culture of the time. As time has marched on, people have forgotten about Top Gun. You'll mainly find the two fan bases being LGBTQ or former Air Force and naval vets. Like, those are the two classes. Those are the two classes that love this movie. It was not broad enough. I mean, this movie, the first one, didn't make anything near $1 billion.
No, but at the time, no movies really were.
Titanic made a shit ton of money, and many before that.
And I'm not saying that Top Gun isn't a great movie or anything. It's not probably one of my favorites, but it's a good movie. It's a good watch. But when they were like, "Oh, we're gonna drag Tom Cruise back onto the screen. You can't take me out of the cockpit."
Drag. I don't know about drag.
It's just it felt.
The dude is still doing his own stunts. Listen, you can say whatever you want about his middle tooth and his weird religion. No offense, but the man is doing his own stunts. And he did a volleyball scene, or a little reprisal, if you will, a little sequel bit. You know what I'm saying? On the beach where they're playing football. And let me tell you something. People could say what they want, but Tom Cruise is a unit. All right. Okay. He looks great for his age.
So
great.
I don't think this is a hot take. I think this is calling a duck a duck. The Top Gun movie is nostalgia bait.
Incorrect, in my opinion. Now, I think that the reason it's done so well with the box office, that has to be a part of it, right? I mean, there has to be, especially since this brought out an age group to the film. So, like, okay. So after COVID, there were plenty of people that returned to the movie theater, but one group that didn't really return to the movie theater were like the boomer age, right? They just didn't really feel the need to go back for something like Doctor Strange or any sort of animated film like Bad Guys. There wasn't anything pulling them to the theater. Yeah. And then they have this IP that at the time was insanely popular, has this cult following. And then you're putting that out there as like all this flight. They recorded hours and hours of real flight footage and saw real. The nostalgia and the marketing obviously did wonders for this movie. And a lot of it is nostalgia bait. But this movie earned its box office by great word of mouth. There are very few people that have seen this movie that dislike it.
I didn't even know it was out. That's how off my radar this is.
Yeah.
Because, pardon the pun, Top Gun kind of flew under my radar for like a hot minute.
Can you hit the green button, please?
That's right.
No, hit the green button.
No. Hate this. But
you deserve that. You deserve that one.
That was fucking horrific. Yeah. Go ahead.
But no, it's just something that people like. My sister really liked Top Gun. I know my mom and stepdad really loved Top Gun. A lot of people in my life really liked it. I just never cared much for it. I was like, oh yeah, no, it's a good movie, but it just wasn't anything that was blowing me away. It just wasn't really what I was looking for.
I like this one even better than the original,
and
I'd say.
Like, I might go ahead and watch this movie and really like it. I'm not saying that.
I mean, half of me saying that is because I wanted to look at Miles Teller like that the whole time.
You know, I will say this. Miles Teller, like...
Oh my God, he killed it.
Okay, let's move away from the hotness thing.
All right, sorry.
He captured...
Yeah, no. That's what I meant. Like, he killed
what he needed to with the movie, because the one thing that really worked about Top Gun for a lot of people was the idea of like, oh, you have your wingman, you have your backup. That's the whole thing. It's like really toxic bromances, the movie, and like that's kind of the idea. But because of Val Kilmer's current health issues, and because of the character Goose having, spoilers for Top Gun, made in the 80s, Goose dies. And because of that, it's going to be hard to give somebody for Tom Cruise to latch onto. So they have this invention of the child from the first movie, Goose's son. He wants to become a fucking flyer now, and he's Rooster, and it's this great rekindling of that relationship, because he really fills the shoes of his father in what he does in the film, in the way he interacts with Maverick, positive and negative. And because of that, I'm telling you, the word of mouth of this film took maybe would have been like maybe a couple of 100 million box office. Like, don't get me wrong. It's a lot of the flights were real. A lot of the shots were like really composed of people flying through the air. And from the perspective of being inside of a ship actually going through the air. But like, it's because you can't go out into a public arena and hear from people that they didn't like the movie. You either hear, I haven't seen it and don't care, or I really liked it.
And I'm not trying to sit here and say that, like, I don't think that they did well, because at the end of the day, I haven't seen either of these movies.
But what's your beef with Elvis, though?
So I feel like they are just, like, all these like romanticized biopics about these musical artists.
You haven't seen it, so you don't know if it's romanticized or not.
I don't know if it's romanticized or not, but it's just like the Straight Outta Compton. You
didn't like Straight Outta Compton?
I like Straight Outta Compton, but they left a lot of important like details that happened.
No. I completely disagree with you, and let me tell you why. A job of a film is to be a good film.
And I'm not saying...
And it's not to be historically accurate. If you want realism in a film and you want all the story in its completion, you need to research, read, go to places that are trying to offer you an educational aspect.
Homie, So my beef with the Elvis film is more so just a lot of biopics about musical artists have been dropping one after the other, and it almost feels like the MCU almost, where it's like they're just bombarding me with it time after time after time after time. I don't fucking like Elvis music. I don't enjoy it. Period. I've listened to a lot of the music that Elvis music is based off of, and I groove with that, but I don't like Elvis, so I don't care. When Rocket Man came out, when Bohemian Rhapsody came out, I was like, okay, yeah, I'll go check those ones out because I kind of at least care about those people. When Straight Outta Compton came out, I'm like, I love NWA. Yeah. So I went and I saw that. I don't care about Elvis.
Yeah.
So I didn't really want to see the movie. And
I don't care if you don't like biopics. My direct reaction was to you saying, it's nothing like the real story. Anybody who thinks that, I completely disagree with you. That's not the fucking point of a movie. That's the point that I was trying to make.
Yeah.
On front seat. You can hate Elvis and not see a single Baz Luhrmann film. I don't care if you see Moulin Rouge. I don't give a fuck.
Well, no, mainly what I was talking about was just like, as far as like, do I think that this is going to spell the end for comic book movies or whatever? Not really. It's biopics which have already been shown to do well, and then you have an IP that is beloved. It sounds disingenuous to say that
I'm not. No. That's not what I'm saying. We are in June. And the only billion-dollar movie with all the other comic book movies that have come out is only Top Gun this year.
Yeah.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that Top Gun didn't do really well, but
And my point is you're seeing a dwindling interest from people in the superhero genre. People have MCU fatigue. That's what I'm saying.
I think
they're going to start investing more into IPs that are not related to superhero movies, and that's where I beg the question. Could this be nearing the end of a superhero renaissance? It might be. I mean, we're looking at Black Panther: Wakanda Forever being the 30th MCU film right around the corner.
Yeah.
So who's to say that they'll continue doing it at the scale they are, especially with things like Flashpoint happening with Ezra Miller and all the other issues that have come with these superhero films. I'm just wondering, where's the funding going to go? Because movie makers very rarely care about the opinions of the audiences. They care about the wallets. So if they think that these other projects, if they think Goonies 2 is going to do better than Doctor Strange 3, I promise you that Goonies 2 will come out much faster than Doctor Strange 3 or whatever it may be. Just giving examples. So that's kind of why I asked the question. But was there anything else you guys wanted to add to the story?
No, I mean, I think I personally like the biopic genre. I guess it's become a genre because there are a lot of movies like that. I agree with that. I'm excited for this movie. I like Elvis music just fine.
I'm not super interested in the Elvis music either. I love Baz Luhrmann. I love Moulin Rouge. I love his directing.
I want to see the acting too. I'm really interested to see like Austin Butler and how well he does. Because I've heard very positive things about his performance. In this movie.
Made me believe that there were Nazi bratwursts in a gas station in Yoga Hosers. I have faith in him as Elvis, and Tom Hanks as well. I'm super excited about. But guys, if there's nothing else really that we wanted to add. I just want to pose this question to you guys. You hear this news about this insanely close box office, about you hear our thoughts on biopics and everything else in between. Let us know in the comments what you think of all this. Let us know if you like Top Gun or if you think that the giant praise around it is totally overblown. Are you hoping that it comes to Paramount Plus early? Are you thinking like, I'll never download Paramount Plus ever? Just let us know in the comments below what you think. And also, long live Moulin Rouge, baby.